Hi everybody, this is Amy Rich with amyrich.net. A couple of months ago during catalog kickoff time of the 2021 to 2022 annual catalog, I made a super cool project on Facebook Live that I want to share with you here. I used watercolor paper and ink refills to create a really fun technique. I hope you love what you see, and if you do, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a single thing. Here I've got my Fluid 100 watercolor paper. I'm going to get everything else kind of out of the way because this perhaps is a little bit messy. Now keep in mind when I did this, I did 23 cards originally using this technique. But when you do a full sheet of the technique I'm going to show you, you can get a lot of the die cuts out of here. So I'm going to start with my spritzer, which is filled with water, and I am going to saturate my paper. So I really want a lot of water on it, and it's all good. We just want, even if it pools up, that's good. That's real good. I'm going to take my Daffodil Delight ink refill. Nope, that's crushed curry. It doesn't matter which one I start with really, but I'm going to start with Daffodil. And I'm just going to drop those all over my paper, just like that, and let it do its thing. And then I'm going to go in with the crushed curry next. When I did this with the yellow originally, I used Bumblebee, and the Bumblebee didn't really spread so much. It was an interesting, you know, kind of like this, but even worse. It was an interesting thing. And then Mango Melody is the last color. So I'm just going to drip drops of Mango Melody in for a little bit darker look. And then, I mean, refills aren't just for refilling your pads, let me tell you. And then I'm going to go in with a water painter, and I'm just going to kind of blend, but not really, but get these, you know, especially those drops that stayed, just to blend those a little bit. And then you have to be patient with these. I have found that if you squeeze all the water out, it helps clean out the brush. So when you do a project like this, it's more than just wiping it off. It's a little bit more of a cleanup than that. So once you've gotten this far now, if you're in a hurry, like I was when I was making my 23 swaps, then I just went ahead with my heat tool and heat dried it. So I'm going to do that now so that I can die cut it and show you what else we're going to do. Now in the meantime, what I did was a whole big sheet of it, and then I die cut all of my pieces, and then if I needed more, I did it again. All right, so this is getting pretty dry now. I'm going to do the back too, just so that it doesn't make a mess on my cutting plates on my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I know this is a process, and I didn't really want to sit you through it, but at the same time, it's good to see kind of the whole process from start to finish. And I did actually use another set of colors on this, so I'll show you that too. But look at how pretty that is. And now what I love about that is when you cut out your that makes a mess on your table too. When you cut out your piece, your die, it will just have this really cool colored look. Look at me. Should have brought a tissue at least over here. That'll do. Okay. All right, so now we've got that, and we're gonna bring in our boss, our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I'll start on this side because it looks like that's the side that you can see the best. All right, so we need our platform number 1, our plate number 2, our plate number 3, our paper, and our die, which is this one. So it's a skinny one, so you can see it can really fit a lot in here. It's a little bit wet over here yet, so I'm not going to go all the way over. And then I will grab my other plate number 3, and away we go. I should have brought my mini boss over here, and I'm sorry for the shaking. And typically I will crank through there about 3 times the speed that you just saw. But for camera purposes, that maybe doesn't work so well. All right, so I've got my cool little stem now with yellows and oranges. Isn't that pretty? I just love, love, love so much this technique, and I don't even know what made me think of it. It just came to me that that's what I should do. So here we are. In the meantime, not in the meantime, but previously, I also did some purples. And then I cut the purples one out of this die, and it makes a really cool look too. So I think the purples I used here were Highland Heather, Concord Crush, and Rich Razzleberry. And I would have really liked to have used some fresh freesia, but I did not buy the refills right away. Thank you, Sharon. I love it too. I love it. You can tell I love it. So these are the two that I'm going to use for my project, but I'm also going to bring in, I was going to add a pink one in here too. And you can see on this pink one, it's got some of the dots of ink, but again, it doesn't matter because when you cut out a small image like that, you don't get that dotty look to it. You know, you don't get these, you know, it just looks cool. And this one is Magenta Madness, Calypso Coral, Flirty Flamingo. I think those are the 3 colors I used for that one. So I was going to put this one in with it, but in the end, I really liked the elegance that you're going to see with this one. So now I'm going to bring in just a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of white cardstock, basic white, and my fresh freesia ink. And one of the things in this stamp set that I really like and I think is going to be underused, then, yeah, great idea for butterflies. It's messy. I bet Malia liked that part of it. The Quiet Meadow has these great little word background thingies. And I have never even read it. It's something about wildflowers and gardens and whatever. Doesn't matter to me what it says. But I'm going to use that to create a bit of a background here on my basic white. And I'm going to go further over to the left and just stamp it in fresh freesia. And then I'm going to stamp it right under that further to the right. And then I'm going to go in with my blending brush because you know I love that. And I'm going to just add a little bit of that. I just love, you can do just a little bit of blending, or you can go crazy and get a nice dark blending. And I just want a little light blending in there. Hope you can see that. And then we're going to take our gorgeous scrape and use those Flutterby dots, those speckles, those, I don't know what I want to call it. I'm going to stamp off on scratch paper, and then I'm going to stamp that across my image like that. And now we're going to add our pieces here. I really wish I would have grabbed my silicone crafting sheet. It's usually at my fingertips, but I think it's buried. And I won't waste your time, so we'll just go with it. And I was having trouble with this. Oh, I think it'll work. All right, so actually I'm going to start with my yellow. And this one turned out a little more orange than the ones I used for my actual swaps. But that's the cool thing. No one stem, even if cut from the same paper, is going to look exactly the same. And I think that's fabulous. All right, so I'm going to take this one, and that's going to go a little bit of an angle, like that. And we'll go in with the purple one. And don't you agree? Oh, well, I'll ask you at the end to see if you agree that the pink would have been too much. I think the pink would have been too much. The blending brushes, you can wash them. So yes, I don't wash them because I have started to collect enough that I am just using the same one for similar colors. But you can rub it on your scratch paper and get it clean. You can wash them and get them clean. So yeah, I think they're easy to clean. I just don't. So then next we're just gonna take our thick basic white cardstock, and I took my bone folder. Oh, I have another one. I have my Not So Average Stampers bone folder that I gave to all my team members who attended on stage last year. So we're gonna do that, and then, oh, I took my adhesive there too. I'll have to go back to the archives and grab Fast Fuse. that was moons ago. But Fast Fuse actually, if you have a Fast Fuse ink cartridge from a long time ago, it's actually the same cartridge that fits into our Stampin' Seal. So I'm guessing it's the same company that makes them. I don't know. But anyway, Fast Fuse to the rescue. All right, so that's really pretty so far. Now I'm just going to show you, because I knew that would take kind of a long time. So now I'm just going to show you what I did. I took the die, the label die from the die set, the Meadows Dies. That's right here. And I took that and I cut it out with basic white, stamped the Thinking of You from the Quiet Meadow stamp set in Concord Crush. I did it again. Oh, good for you, Sharon. 15% off is good. I can drive to pick it up, so I don't have to pay shipping for mine either. Gorgeous Scrape, not Concord Crush. All right, so then I'm going to add, I do have a dimensional on the back, but I think I should probably grab one more, which I probably also packed in my stuff. So let's just lay it on there, and I'll add that later. But that's just going to go across here. And then we shall trim off. Do you love it? I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And I think using the Fresh Freesia color with the other colors, I think is just fine, even though that Fresh Freesia isn't even in the purples in the dies. So thank you. I love them too. Oh, it made me so happy. So what I did, of course, was I kept all of my scraps, because who knows what you can get out of there, right? I mean, there might be something really little that you want to cut, and this will be the perfect thing for it. So anyway, it's been a lot of fun to create those cards, and I love too not tying that ribbon at all. I think it just looks nice laying right there just like that.